Hey, this is Lee with learningwithlee.com. We're going to talk about font today. We're going to do more than one day on font. We're not going to be choosing fonts so much today. There's all sorts of fancy fonts today. You can choose fonts that are going to be like built in. It's going to know some things. You'll see if you're using Atom, it gives you some options kind of built in there. But you could type in things like Times, like Times New Roman, like real, popular ones like that. Your browsers would probably know. But then there's some standard things. Sheriff or Serif, whatever this is. This is fonts like this with like the line under the letters, like the line, there's like a line at the bottom of the I. Do you see that? That's this kind of font. Okay, so son, that's French there, son, without, so this is without that. So let me just go back to that page and just show you what that did. We can watch it change. Okay, so it didn't really write it in cursive, but this is what the default is for cursive there. We will probably next time I'll show you how to choose a specific font so that it's not a browser default. All right, this changed. Anyway, okay, so let's go back and do a little more on font. Let's see. Where should we work? So let's do the link. You can do font size, the property font size. You'll see here I wrote 3 rem. REM is like a standard size for your browser. Okay, people are going to be looking at your website on a phone, on a TV, on a laptop, on a computer, all sorts of different screens, tablets, everything's different size, really little and really big. So this is like takes the standard, so it's like 3 times the standard size. This way you just can control it better for how it looks across browsers. A lot of times now I just see like there's huge images, like I use a computer and there's like huge images and huge font, and I'm like, they're just trying to make it for a mobile phone, just trying to make it work right for a mobile phone. But you should make it look right on every area. Okay, so you can also do font size like 12 pixels, like if you're used to using like a word processing thing, like maybe use size 12 font, right? You use 12 pixels. I think 16 is the normal standard for websites, which I think is big, but you can play around with it. So like, why would you write 3 rem instead of H1? It comes with the size, right? But just like I was saying, like even though there's like a default here for font, different browsers might have their own version of those defaults. Like every browser can have their own version of what H1 looks like on their browser. So if you want to be in control, then you define the size. Okay. So maybe H1's 3 rem, maybe H2's 2 rem. And you can do a decimal point. You could say 0.3 rem. Should we look at it and see what happens? Dun, dun, dun. Whoop, very, very tiny heading. Okay, not appropriate for heading, but just showing you what would happen. So the other thing we can do is do font weight. Font weight also takes a number. You can see that what showed up, some of my choices. You could do 100. They're all even numbers like that. Let me get it up again here. 400, you can write bold, lighter, normal. These are some standard things, but again, if you choose a number, then you're defining it yourself. You're telling the browser what you want it to do. You tell it who's boss. So 500 would be the normal bold. Okay, let's say 900. Let's see what happens. Let's get rid of this so we don't confuse it by giving it 2 different values. If you do that, I think the second value it comes across will be the one that it actually uses. So here, I just changed these links. So I made that, you can see definitely that it got thicker, right? It's bolder. So that's what I just did there. All right, and we can change the size. That was 16 pixels. Let's see, 72. 72 pixels. So it's like a size 72 font on like your word processing thing. Or we could say, 5 rem. It's gonna be remember your semicolons and your colons. That got bigger. Anyway, you can do 1.5. That's fine. But for the font weight, it's rounded to 100. It's only 100, 100, 200, 300, 400. But with these, you can use a decimal point. Okay, so there's your basic introduction. Enough for you to change things around on your site. Play with the different fonts, which you like best. And next time we will look at choosing specific fonts and how to choose fonts that complement each other. Okay. Play around, and see you next lesson. You can subscribe to be notified when that comes out. And you can also read this lesson if you want to be able to see all these different things I wrote on the blog learningwithlee.com. Learning-with-Lee. And the link will be in the description of the video. Thanks, guys.